Hey guys, and welcome to part 43 of Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver. In the last part I got to Viridian City and we made Blue actually go to his gym, which, I mean, that shouldn't be my job, he should do that himself as a gym leader. But now I've actually defeated all the trainers in this place and yeah, this is me not doing too well with the arrow puzzle. All the other times I had to come in here and go through this puzzle, I did it perfectly, I swear, but for some reason, the time when I come into the gym and I do it perfectly, or I actually beat the gym leader, spoilers for that, I completely mess it up and make myself look like a complete idiot. Because this gym leader, right, it took me so long to do this. I wouldn't say it's the hardest gym leader out there, although it probably is, but I don't think it's the gym leader I really had the toughest time with. Because when it came to the actual battle, it wasn't the worst, but, well, you'll see when I see. So pretty much, yeah, it's against Blue, or Gary. One thing I don't like about them calling him Blue as well, I already talked about this, but I never liked that Red was the official guy, or the main guy, and Blue was the rival, because I like Pokemon Blue more. You know, Pokemon Red was more popular, and that's what people brought, and people love Charmander, but I had Pokemon Blue, and that's what I really like, so I didn't like the idea that, you know, because I bought Pokemon Blue, I was advocating some guy being an asshole to your main character, so... But yeah, so this battle was tough. It took me a lot of tries, but a lot of the times it just came down to that last kind of few Pokemon, and then, you know, a couple of moves I got unlucky on. So straight away his first Pokemon is Executor, so it's Poison Grass type, I think. So, you know, something like, you know, York is ideal. And one thing that was pretty good about this is that I hit it with a Flamethrower, but York wasn't powerful enough to kill it in one with Flamethrower. You know, the level difference is just too big, and Executor is a decent Pokemon. So what this meant is that Blue usually used a full restore on Executor, which was really cool because the main problem with this battle, and the other ones I've already mentioned, is the gym leader's full restores. So, you know, the more you can get out of the way, the better. And because he sometimes did this, sometimes didn't. Out of all the times I fought this guy, he switched out Executor half the time. But yeah, so he switched out Executor for Gyarados, which is okay by me because Gyarados is water flying type, and I can just switch out the fluff and take it down. So well, Gyarados is a really powerful Pokemon, but it definitely wasn't anything I was worried about due to the fluff being so strong, or the fluff having high special attack and Gyarados being 4 times weak to electric. Yeah, the thing is that this Gyarados, you can't just write it off like you can with some Pokemon. Because as you can see here, just look how much damage this Waterfall is doing. You know, because Waterfall is a physical attack, so it's doing a decent amount of damage to the fluff, which is not good. But of course I was always going to take out in one, and at this point in the battle I knew how much damage, or by the time I got to this gym battle, this one, like, I think this is like my 4th or 5th attempt, I kind of knew, I kind of had it all together exactly, you know, what I needed to use against what and kind of things like that. So he has a Rhydon, which is actually a pretty cool Pokemon. It's a Pokemon I've never used because it's kind of a pain to, you know, find, but I think it's pretty cool. So of course I'm just gonna, you know, I'm keeping it basic here. I'm not trying to do any tricks, or with these first few Pokemon anyway, I'm not trying anything, you know, crafty or trying any real tactics. It's just, oh, that sort of Pokemon, boom, I'm gonna beat it with a super effective move. So yeah, so of course with Rhydon it's ground type, maybe rock type, I'm not sure. Again, I don't know much about it because you don't see it that often. And yeah, just hit it with a couple of serves and it's down. I was thinking about using Waterfall, but Rhydon, Waterfall again is a physical move, so Surf is the better choice out of the two. And yeah, it's pretty interesting that he's actually trying to type match you, as you can see, because when I had York out against Executor, he switched out for Gyarados, which is water type, to beat York. And then when I sent out the Fluff and Electric type to beat Gyarados, he then sent out Rhydon, which is ground type, to beat the Fluff, because it's electric type. So I think that's pretty interesting that he's trying to type match you. And all you really have to do is type match him back and make sure you have the right type out, which is very easy to do. It's not that, you know, tricky. It's just he's a bit smarter than other AIs. Although of course he's not that smart because he sent out a Machamp against Hawkins. But so the other times I did this battle, I kept Hawkins in, or I let Hawkins take on Machamp. But the thing is, Hawkins only has physical attacks pretty much, which meant that while they were super effective, they didn't really get the job done. So what I decided to do is send out Mr. Sublime and just use Psychic, because Psychic was going to be a much more powerful attack, and Machamp was never really a problem, but it was also like, it's a tough Pokemon. Like, it can give you trouble if you have no way of, you know, taking it down, if you don't have a Psychic type or a Flying type, or if you have a weak Flying type. Because even though flying is super effective against fighting, a lot of the times, especially once you hit these kind of levels, level 50, fighting types can beat flying types because they have such good physical moves, and flying types just have kind of, they're pretty weak defensively. So you got to be careful there. So I went for Mr. Sublime, and I knew he could take an Earthquake due to the fact that I've done this battle before. So his next Pokemon is Arcanine, and I believe it's his strongest. I can't quite remember. Is one of his strongest. It's level 58, so straight away there I was very worried. So because it's fire type, I thought I'd send out E-Rock and use Explosion, because again, from experience, you know, you would think I would use Earthquake because it'd be super effective, but from experience I knew that it didn't do that much. Earthquake does a surprisingly lacking amount of damage. So I thought, I knew E-Rock wasn't going to be able to survive for that long, so I just used Explosion. Now, I knew that it was pretty much in vain using Explosion, because he still has 2 full restores left, maybe more. I know it's at least 2. I don't think he has 3 left. I think they all do have 3 full restores, not, you know, 4. So yeah, so I took this time, see now the tactics are coming in. So I sent out E-Rock, got it down to low damage using Explosion, and because Megadude was weak, I then sent in Megadude, and when he was healing up, I healed at the same time. So, you know, that's some smart thinking from me. I was pretty proud that I thought of that. So yeah, so now I have a water type against this Arcanine. But again, it's just, even though they're super effective moves, they're just not that good against this thing. This thing is just really powerful. And even though I've got, you know, I'm using water type moves, it's not doing that much damage. You know, it's just a case that the type difference is just so much. And also that Arcanine is a semi-legendary Pokemon, and it's just a really good Pokemon overall. The only thing that I kind of had going for me in this battle, or against this Arcanine, is that its stats aren't actually that great. No, well, no, that's not true. Its moves aren't that great. Out of all the moves that this level 59 Arcanine could have, they're actually not that, you know, strong. It doesn't have any real powerful moves, you know. Like when I went up, you know, against Rhydon and Machamp, they both had Earthquake. They're powerful moves. They're going to do some serious damage if you're not careful. But, you know, luckily against this Arcanine didn't have anything that strong, which meant that even though it's level 58 and it is a good Pokemon, I was able to eventually take it down by being a bit cheap with the Hyper Potions, but I kind of needed, you know, my Pokemon to still be in. So yeah, so his last Pokemon is Pidgeot, and I wasn't too sure what to do here because of course I wanted the Fluff in, but the Fluff is super weak, so I decided to send in Hawkins just cause, really, just to give it a good go. Oh yeah, Pidgeot is his strongest Pokemon. Yeah, that's one thing I actually really liked about this battle, that Pidgeot was his strongest Pokemon. And it is actually a really strong Pokemon. It's level 60, that's 12 levels more than my Pidgeot is, or Hawkins is. So I decided, yes, that's it, I sent in Hawkins to use Feather Dance, because I assumed, like my Pidgeot, it was mostly going to have defensive moves, and I kind of did need time for the Fluff to kind of get healed up, so I thought that maybe I could just use a load of Feather Dances against this thing and make it really weak, so whatever I send in would be fine. You know, I got super lucky there, the Air Slash missed. I don't know how that happened. So I knew Hawkins would die next turn, so I thought I might as well get in a bit of damage. But I was still aware that Blue still had 1 more full restore, so I didn't want to quite go for a load of damage just yet. But yeah, so it's really interesting that the Pidgeot is his strongest Pokemon. because in the original it was his first Pokemon, it was his weakest, and it was kind of a joke. You know, most people played those games had like a Pikachu. So they just use Thunder straight away, and boom, that's the Pidgeot dead. Right, on to the next one. But in this battle, it's his last Pokemon, and it doesn't quite work out like that. You can't just use Thunder or whatever. Well, mainly because I don't have Thunder, but that's not the point. You can't just use one attack and kill it in one, because it is such a high level. So I thought that was kind of cool and interesting. But of course, because I'm such a tough, super strong guy, I used a charge and a discharge, and that took it out. Because, you know, the reason why Pidgeot always died in the original Super Quake is because it can't take attacks. That's the main problem with most flying types. They just can't take attacks. It's why you kind of want to go for more flying / something else, rather than just flying. Or flying normal, I guess I should say. So yeah, so with that done, we defeated Blue. Now we have all 16 badges of Kanto and Johton. So that's actually it for the, what's it called? The official gym challenge. I think there's people do call it the gym challenge. I never really quite understood that myself, but whatever. So yeah, so now we're going to enter a part of the game where it's going to be a bit less obvious what I'm going to do. Of course, I could, you know, there's a certain stuff I could do, but I've pretty much finished the game. So the first thing we're going to do is go talk to Professor Oak, because apparently now he cares. And it's pretty funny because we already went to go talk to him, and he was like, hey, once you get all your badges, come see me. I'll be like, hey, what's up? And now he just calls you and has the exact same conversation like we never talked to him before. Of course, you know, it's a Pokemon DS game. I'm not going to argue, you know, about them changing conversations. So because I'm lazy, I'm going to use Fly. I'm not going to walk there, because I thought if I walk there, there'll be a good chance I'll get into another gym battle. Not another gym battle, I've already done all those. Another trainer battle, so yeah. And it's so creepy that you fly to outside Red's house. That's really creepy. It's not your house, it's the other guy's house. You can't fly there. It's a bit rude. His mum's going to get sick of you showing up outside her window with your Typhlosion. It's just a bit weird. So he gives you Rock Climb, which I was instantly disappointed by, because I don't want to use Rock Climb. But there are a few instances there where we're going to have to use it, so whoop-de-doo. I mean, I guess it's post-game, so they can kind of get away with these HMs like showing up more. But yay, Rock Climb, because I can't quite remember. I don't think I've ever really used Rock Climb. Oh yeah, it is in Pearl, isn't it? But yeah, here it is. I mean, it's not the worst move, but again, it's really weird. It's a normal type move. It's got rock in the title. It's like if a move called like Thunder Grab was normal type. So okay, I guess. So yeah, because we need it, I'm going to teach it to E-Rock, even though I don't really want to, but we do need it. So yeah, I'm not going to say for what, but we are going to need it. So yeah, so you may be thinking, what am I going to do next? And before doing anything else, I'm going to fly to Pewter City. So next time in Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver, we are going to do the post game, I'm going to call it, starting off by fighting our rival. So I will see you next time.